Hello, dear listeners, and welcome back to Book Summary 5, the 5-Minute Summary channel. I'm Sammy, your host, here to give you a detailed dive into another captivating book. Before we start, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. It's essential for us to keep bringing you these summaries. Plus, subscribing means you'll always be in the loop when a new book summary drops. Today, we're exploring The Road to Serfdom by Friedrich Hayek. Published in 1944, this seminal work argues against the dangers of central planning and the loss of individual freedoms, making a compelling case for free market capitalism. Let's dive into the key concepts and insights from this book so you'll feel like you've read it cover to cover. Hayek wrote The Road to Serfdom during World War II, warning that the rise of totalitarian regimes was a direct consequence of socialist policies. He argues that central planning and government control over the economy inevitably lead to tyranny and the erosion of personal freedoms. According to Hayek, even well-intentioned efforts to plan the economy can set society on a path toward authoritarianism. Hayek begins by explaining how central planning requires a concentration of power. In a centrally planned economy, decisions about production, distribution, and prices are made by a small group of officials. This concentration of power, Hayek argues, is inherently dangerous because it lacks the checks and balances that exist in a free market system. When the government controls the economy, it becomes increasingly difficult for individuals to challenge or escape its authority. One of Hayek's central points is that economic freedom and political freedom are inseparable. In a free market system, individuals have the freedom to make their own economic decisions, which in turn supports political freedoms. However, when the government controls the economy, it also gains the power to control many aspects of individuals' lives, from their employment to their consumption choices. This control can quickly expand into other areas, eroding political liberties and leading to a loss of democracy. Hayek also discusses the problem of knowledge and centralized planning. He argues that no central authority can possess the vast and dispersed knowledge required to make efficient economic decisions. In a free market, prices act as signals that convey information about supply and demand, allowing individuals to make informed decisions. Central planners, however, lack access to this real-time information, leading to inefficiencies and misallocations of resources. This inefficiency can stifle innovation and productivity, ultimately harming the economy. In another key argument, Hayek explains how the pursuit of equality through central planning leads to a loss of freedom. While the goal of creating a more equal society may seem noble, Hayek argues that it requires significant coercion. To redistribute wealth and resources, the government must interfere in the economy and regulate individuals' actions. This interference inevitably reduces personal freedoms and leads to an unequal distribution of power, with a small group of planners wielding disproportionate control over society. Hayek uses historical examples to support his arguments, pointing to the rise of fascism and communism in Europe as evidence of the dangers of central planning. He explains how countries like Germany and Russia moved from democratic systems to totalitarian regimes by incrementally increasing government control over the economy. These regimes initially gained support by promising economic security and social justice, but they ultimately led to oppression and widespread suffering. The book also addresses the argument that democratic socialism can prevent the slide into totalitarianism. Hayek contends that even in democracies, the implementation of socialist policies can erode the rule of law and individual freedoms. He argues that once the government starts planning the economy, it becomes difficult to stop or reverse the trend, as each intervention creates new problems that require further control. This creates a slippery slope that can lead to the loss of democratic institutions. In the final chapters, Hayek advocates for a return to classical liberal principles. He argues that a free market economy, governed by the rule of law, provides the best foundation for individual freedom and prosperity. While acknowledging that markets are not perfect and that some government intervention may be necessary, he stresses that such interventions should be limited and designed to support, rather than replace, the market system. Hayek's The Road to Serfdom remains a powerful and thought-provoking critique of central planning and a passionate defense of economic and political freedom. By highlighting the dangers of government control and the importance of individual liberties, Hayek's work continues to resonate in debates about the role of government in society. Thank you for tuning in to Book Summary 5, the 5-Minute Summary channel. Don't forget to subscribe to get updates on new episodes, and if you enjoyed this summary, please like and share it with your friends. Until next time, happy reading.